Cause I ain't no sissy la-la like some of these motherfucking YouTubers. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. I'll take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty.
Women's boobs are their balls. They're just not down there. So yes, gentlemen, we have bigger balls than you do.
What? Say what?
I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Jimbo,
I'm Kemper.
coming to you live from the stand. What's going on, Kipper?
Nothing, brother. Just pulled up.
you made it in time. I was like, I'm going to stall here for a minute or two, and I got a couple things going on here in the background, download some stuff, upload some stuff, and I heard a little plop. God damn, he's already in studio. Got me.
I was trying to be on time.
Did you speed?
Hmm.
Did you break
No.
it off?
No. I actually couldn't because there were two people pulled over on my way.
I was going to ask you,
I didn't want to be three.
did the cops feel like they was chasing a ghost?
Yeah. He's an idiot.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did he go live today?
I don't even know. Did he go live today? Anybody? It's good to
I've
see
had
everybody in chat already.
Ernie free day for me today so far. So
Yeah, me too. I haven't really been able to see much of anything on YouTube. Saw the thing going on in Pennsylvania. Leslie was covering that a little bit. Was really sad from what I understand. And then I popped in a couple of live streams, but I couldn't really participate. I was just listening for a minute, and then I just been a busy couple of days running errands and getting everything straightened out, getting everything ready for stuff. So,
did you see Behind Green Eyes comment, her request?
oh, can I forfeit my spot? E squared is the winner, in my opinion. You can. I don't think it'll matter. I think when the voting's over, it probably won't. Yeah. See, there's already 58 votes, and E squared's got 71% of those, so it would probably be pretty lopsided anyway. But yeah, if either of you win and you want to forfeit you can do that. E Squared will always live in our hearts, and
yeah, and be here with us every live stream.
Yeah. Trying to read a little chat here. Little chat. We are going to go over Ernie's testimony tonight. I want you all to see that on the witness stand. I did upload a video. Hoping to play it too, which I was looking for something else in the video, but I found something I wasn't even looking for. So that's always a bonus.
The gift that keeps giving.
Ain't it though? Don't you just love that? That's what you call them rabbit holes. Let me tell you, where Ernie Shell's concerned, there's rabbit holes everywhere.
Hole being the key word.
Yeah, when you tell so many lies, man, there's holes everywhere, right? Mr. Lady said E Squared has won all our hearts. He sure has, Mr. Lady. Oh, I know you didn't mean that. I knew what you meant. That you want to just forfeit your spot. You can do that, yeah. I think when we highlighted that, anybody who was going to, vote for you at that from then on would probably cast their vote in another direction. So I knew what you meant. 100%. It was noble, very noble. I know you did it out of love and warmth in your heart. Okay, Mr. Lady, not feeling well. We love you. We'll try to be entertaining. If I don't sit over here and fall asleep.
If not, it'd be my fault.
Right. It is Kimberly. She already knows that, Ro.
Right.
She already knows that. She's been around long enough. She knows anything goes wrong is your fault.
Hell yeah.
Let me see if I can get this video played. Now I haven't saved it in the MP4 format, so it may not. Like
I want me to dick to be happy. Every time I get mad, it's like Connie needs him.
The fuck? Why do I hear that bitch?
That was in this video I'm going to share.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, the video might cut off again like it did last night because I haven't saved it as an MP4 yet. It's as a .mov file right now. And sometimes those don't play in this Windows Media Player, right? So let's try it anyway and see what we can do here.
Yeah, no.
This one right here, this suit, this uniform, this ACU here. I said suit, did ACU, but again. This is a lot bigger on me than it is. But this is what they didn't have no more sizes in the armory there. They would actually even fit me, so I had to go and order.
Oh,
Can you look at the last picture for a second there, Ernie?
Which one?
That's what I was looking for.
The one you just had before this, where you're swearing in. And
all right. So he said they didn't have any more suits in the armory that would fit him, right? Now he's telling y'all he's military police. He's got the patch right there on his arm. Now, somebody would have to tell me. I could be wrong because I am definitely not military. I have never been in the military. Would not ever claim to be in the military unless I had done it. But he just said they didn't have any more in the armory that would fit him, so he got this really big one here. Now, do those suits, as he called it, do they come already with the patches on them that say military police? Or is that something you earn and then sew it onto your uniform?
I think it's been both. I just don't know which way it is now. You know what I mean? Like, I think that they might have sewn on patches, their MP stuff at some point, but also they could be getting their uniforms done that way. I don't know.
Well, chat's saying no. My question is his suit that he says they gave him is too big for him.
Suit?
That's what he called it. So his
fuck up
fatigues, I think those are fatigues, right? Camouflage.
Yeah.
So they're obviously too big. Looks like they're probably an adult medium, and they're 2 sizes too big for Ernie. But it swallows him. But it's already got the MP patch on it. I just wonder. Some are Velcro, some are sewn. So they gave him, this uniform, and then he goes and, automatically it's already, when it comes, fully decked out with his patches on it. And if I'm not mistaken, I can't really blow that up and see it, but if I'm not mistaken, that uniform also has a shell patch on it.
Yep.
So they just had a shell patch laying around too. I mean,
yeah. The thing is he never went to basic, so he would never become a military policeman. So that is fact. You're not just gonna go in, not go to basic, and be a military police. Just it doesn't work that way. Like you go to do your advanced infantry training and your basic, and then you learn your job where you work.
Not even with 150 years worth of executive security
work?
Nope. Damn.
No, I don't know how the fuck he got in as an E3. Probably sucked a dick or two, but yeah, you don't just go in and have a uniform. If you've not been to basic, you're not going to be sitting there with a uniform that says military police.
Lady Jane Rogue, this is the State Guard photo, yes. Yeah. He doesn't have any photos of him in the National Guard. Miraculously. The guy who documents everything in his life has his boxing little pictures, with his little skinny, tiny little body there trying to be a badass. He's got those photos, but no military photos whatsoever. No basic, no college. Right. He didn't even graduate high school. Now, he did get his GED, so he could technically join the military. And I think he did enlist. I was told that he enlisted at the same time as another one of my friends. And I saw on my Facebook memories today where that friend passed away 6 years ago today. He was a good man. So it was a sad memory to run across. But this guy was definitely in the National Guard Armory. He was injured, or not Armory, but in the National Guard. He was also injured, I think, maybe during drill or something. But I know he got injured. There's no proof of a GED, Princess Ice. Well, you're right. Coming from Ernie, it could be false, but yeah, something I guess you'd have to check into. Now, I'm sure you could ask him where he took it at, and he'd tell you where he took it at and that he aced it. Got a perfect score. Because he is a genius,
Oh,
he
yeah.
probably taught the instructors a few things, Yeah, he was.
That's what's being questioned right now is his GED, because we know he dropped out of school. But as far as seeing any kind of certificate for equivalency, I've never seen one. But then again, nobody's really said, "Hey, you got proof of your GED?" So we have a lot of other shit, but not that one.
Now I can tell you, I've not seen his proof of GED, so I couldn't verify that for sure. And if I had seen it, I would tell you. I wouldn't lie about it.
Oh, I know.
The Jeep steering wheel embedded in his chest. Don't you know? Oh yeah, I forgot. Beyond stupid, we are not. That was a horrific military Jeep accident. Even though they didn't do Jeeps, they do Humvees. Since I think what was it, 1982 or 84.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, at one point they were using Jeep and International Scouts, like harvesters. You know what I mean? Like they used both in Humvee, but that was like back in the motherfucking day too. You know what I mean? Like everything I've seen since I've been alive is
yeah,
Humvee. Yep. So I don't know how the hell he's driving a Jeep and him being younger than me. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I
Now
don't know.
I can tell you that at the Harlan National Guard at the Armory out there, we did a lot of wrestling and fighting events out there, and we did our locker rooms for the wrestling especially. We did a lot of our locker rooms outside in the gated area where they kept the vehicles,
Yeah.
and there were Jeeps in there. Now there was mostly Humvees and some other kinds of vehicles, big ass vehicles, but there were some Jeeps there. I don't even know if they were functional, you know, because of course we never saw them in motion, but there were Jeeps in that lot. So I don't know that he would have ever driven one.
Right.
But now at least in the early 2000s, they still had some Jeeps in that area. So like I said, I don't know, just because the Jeep's there doesn't mean it runs either. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially if they've been outdated or replaced. Yes, I am going to play Nana C short. Have you seen it, Kemper?
I can't say that I have.
I think she just put it out today, so it's a good one. It's a good one. Let me go grab that right quick. I will be right back.
Oh, Nana C doing some shorts now. Hell yeah. Gotta love that. Right. Nana C, like the Jeeps wouldn't be used on the front lines at all. When they're phasing them out, they bring in replacements. And I know Jeep at one point was the choice of the military, but that was back when my grandfather was in World War II in Korea. They have, and it takes a minute to phase them out. So, they're like Jimbo said, there could have been a Jeep here or there being used still, but primarily they've used Humvees. You've done a lot of research today? Hell yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the family picture I came across today, you should go look at my most recent community post. It's pretty sexy. It's pretty sexy.
I grab that
Good
link.
stuff.
As Ernie says, link. So I do have the link. And you're going to like this, Kemper. You're going to like this video. It calls a liar out for telling lies.
Can I ask where you went to basic though? I'm genuinely interested. One vet to another. Who are you? Who are you? Let me give you a link. Let's give you a link.
So, Ernie, where'd you go to basic at, buddy?
Go ahead. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, dude? My mic.
Now who are you?
Who am I? I'm a new viewer.
A new viewer. That's cool.
Yeah.
What was your MOS?
I was Loving Bravo. How about you?
Or was it yours what?
Loving Bravo. How about you?
11 Bravo.
Yeah. Who are you, Ernie?
Was you active?
I sure was.
How many years?
6.
Well, hell. I didn't make it 6. I can hear you. Sound like you had some problems.
I do, yeah. On my phone using AirPods. Yeah, 6 years. How long did you make it, Ernie?
I made it 1 year and 6 months.
Well, where'd you go to basic at? That's all my question was.
Didn't go.
You didn't go.
No, didn't go. I never have claimed I ever did. Never. So let me explain to you. Desert Storm was going on when I went to basic.
So you're telling me that you didn't make it through basic, but you submitted for a DD-214. You received said DD-214 that stated that you had a unit underneath your service.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are you confused about?
Well, you stated in your stream, I've been listening all day long, basically. I mean, I was introduced to you today.
Cool.
But it stated you were in the 149th, which is out of Kentucky, but you stated you were in Tennessee. I'm confused.
Oh, that was for the State Guard. That was here a few years ago.
State Guard? What do you mean State Guard?
I was in the Tennessee State Guard here a few years ago.
Well, how'd you get a DD-214 that states that you served in Kentucky?
That was years.
But you didn't go to basic. But how'd you end up in the National Guard in Kentucky?
Thank you, Nathan C82. Let me put a link for that one in chat so you guys can give a view to that. You can slow it down, zoom in on the paperwork there, and catch Ernie in your own lives there. I mean, that's excellent work there, Nana C82. Like I said, he talks so fast. And little slips of the tongue, a lot of people don't catch them.
Yep.
That's a good catch. So in Desert Storm, when he went to basic, no, you didn't. For one, you were only 10 years old. And 2, you just told the other fella you didn't even go to basic, as is what he told John Loveday as well, many times. So, yeah. Busted that arse.
Well, just like when he claimed he had a degree in business marketing and then got called out for the shit.
Yeah, and then he claimed he didn't.
Yep.
I never said that.
Yeah,
No,
then he got called out.
Marketing. Yeah. No, I didn't say that. I said I took business and marketing. Let's review and rewind there, homeboy.
He always says that.
Yeah, he ain't got a degree in nothing.
Maybe in bullshittery, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gets carried away. He gets on them fucking little rants that after he gets triggered and starts getting questioned, and he has a certain set of defenses that he uses whenever he is questioned about saving kids, working security, or anything like that. He starts bringing up the licenses and the Facebook post of Prentice's family, all that shit. But it's always, he always adds more as he does it. And that's where he catches shit. Every fucking time.
I'm going to go find this testimony here right quick. We're going to impeach your testimony too, homeboy. Oh, and Constance Sue was bragging about filing a counter notification today. Even though she couldn't file it on a fair use because she absolutely did not use fair use and it didn't apply. And she didn't file the strike or the counter either. Rob Reed did. Constance Sue doesn't have the brains to do anything like that. She gets somebody else to do it for her. And no, I can't afford to take her to federal copyright court. If I could afford to, I would, but I'm not going to ask y'all to pay for that either. It's when YouTube sends me things like that, I'm going to strike you, Connie, every time. So don't use stuff from my videos, and I'm going to file a privacy complaint today. Unless the video's gone, but if the video's still there, when you said my daughter's name again after being told not to, I'm going to file a privacy complaint. She's 14 years old, bitch. Leave her name out of your fucking fat ass mouth. Understand? Hope we're on the same page there. Or you'll get a privacy complaint. And I'll go back, and every time you said her name, I'll file a privacy complaint. And those will add up real fucking quick.
Yeah, she talks and repeats herself. You damn right.
Yeah, you want to play a game, Connie? Is that what you're trying to do? Is that what you want to do here? You think it's fun and games? Nobody wants you over here. Goodbye. Let me find this. I should have earmarked this last night. Yeah, give me just a second. I want to mute so I can go look for it. Hey, Survivor 67. You want to read that, Kemper?
Ernie has had a foul mouth and a disposition for stolen valor in the most disgusting, disrespectful thing. Ernie, you are a liar, and you were no patriot. Yeah, he thinks he's a patriot because he was up at the Capitol on January 6th, 2020. Or was it 21? It was 21. My bad. He thought he was the fucking man. He's played those fucking videos over and over and over again, trying to act like he's something. When he don't realize how much of an idiot he still looks like. I mean, like I asked him yesterday, why the fuck's he still using that picture of him wearing a face mask? You gonna get the vid, man? Is that what's going to happen, Ernie? You protecting yourself from everybody? Those super soldier genes? Yeah, whatever, dude. Weak. And he is guilty of stolen valor for sure. I don't care if he was in Tennessee State Guard or if he was in National Guard. I don't care because he never even went to basic, and he's running around acting like he was some big badass in the military and in law enforcement, specifically Homeland Security. So he can fuck off with his bullshit. Stolen valor across the board. No way around it, Ernie. That's exactly what that is. Making claims on shit that you've not done, especially with those kinds of situations. We all know that it's so it doesn't show that he has the gift that keeps on giving. Herpes. No, I think he thinks it makes him look cool. Like he's been using masks for the past 3 years, like, it was some cool shit. Like he was hiding his face from everybody with a mask multiple times for like a solid week. And yeah, at times you would think, yeah, he's hiding sores, but there's no signs of sores a couple of these times. You know what I mean? It's like it's something mental with this motherfucker. It's just like him and his boots, him and his bracelets. Same kind of shit. It's just weak. I don't get it. His hat, same shit. Like it's, I don't understand it. Just like when he made that little video of him walking through the hallway of some hotel, I guess, and to the song "Gangster's Paradise," wearing a scally cap. Like it's his thing, man. It's what he does. Mask, hats, bracelets, fucking boots, whatever. I guess because nothing on him is worth focusing on. He's got to have attachments to him that does that. Oh, look at his bracelets. Oh, look at his hat. Oh, he's the guy with the hat. He don't want people to say, oh, he's that guy that saves kids. It's that guy with the fucking hat. Crocodile Dundee, right? Right. That predator hunter guy. That's what it is to Ernie. Bullshit. He never saved a soul. Can't even save his own ass. Hey, Katie. He thinks the police won't know who he is if his face is cut. But that's the thing. He's been doing it before his warrants. It's just this thing with Ernie. Really is. I think it makes him feel more deceptive or something. I mean, hell, I remember it was almost 2 weeks, I think. He sat in Tina's driveway in his fucking Dodge with a mask on. And of course, right before that happened, he had a live where he was, quote, spitting up blood. it's so sad. So sad. No, he's not. He's not even close to being Crocodile Dundee skunk. He's more like one of the Sheilas.
Yeah. Plus the knife. Left the knife. Yeah, I found the video, so we're gonna watch a little Ernie's testimony here. It's take a little while. What's up, Katie?
Wildflower, pretty much. Yeah, that's what it is. Just like his hat, his bracelets, his boots, all of it.
Yeah. Welcome in everybody who's come in while I was looking for the video. Appreciate y'all being here. Is Sweet on opposite Melissa still crying? Yeah, Katie, that woman is absolute batshit crazy.
I'm still waiting for her to strike me. For when she's like, "Don't you play this, I'll strike you." So I recorded it and played it.
Katie, have you seen the video of Ernie getting kicked through a trailer?
Oh gosh. I forgot she did that shit.
Yeah. Melissa claims that I said she got kicked through a trailer and showed this video. Like everybody knows that ain't you, biggin. Everybody knows that ain't you. Like Ernie's, 5'4", 120 pounds of nothing burger.
Okay. Did you freeze, Jimbo?
Yep, I did. I froze.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Let me
I
look
didn't
at
know if it was me. I was looking to see if I could see my little avatar vibrate or whatever, but
I use like vibrations.
your face.
Let's see. Here we go. Ernie takes flight. That's old Scaren Dog. Yeah, but anyway, she says that I said that was her getting kicked through a trailer. Like, I know who the fuck that is. It's my fucking video. I'm the one who put it out. Now, why would I play it and say this is Sweet Melissa? No, Sweet Melissa, or whatever you go on by this week. I think I said maybe you should get kicked through a trailer, like Ernie. But shut up. Insignificant. Stay over there and suck on Mammoth's little bitty titties. Women's boobs are their balls. All right, let's watch Ernie testify, y'all. Who wants to see it? Throw a one in the chat if you want to see Ernie's grandiose testimony. I need to rename this video too. It's hard to find like that.
Mr. Shell, you raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that any testimony you give in this trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, sir. All right, have a seat, sir, and please speak up loudly and clearly. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Shell.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Shell, if you could, will you introduce yourself to the jury and to the court?
My name is Ernie Shell. I'm the defendant's brother.
Okay. And by the defendant, are you referring to Shelby Shell seated over here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I'm going to take you back, Mr. Shell, and try to stay on specifically a conversation that may have taken place with then Detective Michael Cornett. Okay. Are you aware of Michael Cornett?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know him, know his face? Can you recognize him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is this Michael Cornett over here in the courtroom?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you recall speaking to Mr. Cornett on or about February 25th, 2013?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How did it come about that you were in a position to be speaking with Mr. Cornett?
Me and the defendant and I, we had took a ride to Harlan, and he discussed pretty much all the actions that had taken place for.
Katie, you're surprisingly not the only person who's ever said that. Shelby Shell, what a name. Yeah, that's been a little rib or jab for quite a while now. I'm sure he grew up having to be tough with that name too.
5 days prior, and just with some of the actions that he had done during that, I knew that something had to be done.
Okay. Now, let me ask you specifically, did you and Shelby talk on the phone?
When was this? Multiple times.
Just ever. Have you ever talked on the phone
Yes,
with
sir.
Shelby,
Yes,
your
sir.
brother?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you stated that you're related, and you've already said he's your brother. Can you recognize him? Do you recognize his voice and things of that nature?
Yes, sir.
Okay. About this period of time, February 25th, 2013, February 24th, 2013, did you ever have a conversation with Shelby Shell on the phone wherein he was talking about Ronnie King?
When was the date?
February 25th, February 24th?
No.
Okay.
Not on that.
Did you ever have a conversation at any point on the phone where Shelby Shell was talking about Ronnie King?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what was stated within that conversation?
It was about a week prior to that day, or no, it was about 2 weeks prior to that date. He would ask me if I would give him a ride to Everett's, and he kept naming just Ronnie King. And the only way I've ever heard of Ronnie King was through like he was a manager or something at some apartment complex in Eastbrook. And
So he said he didn't know Ronnie King, but he knew Ronnie King. Weird. We good?
Son of a bitch, I've been going off over here with a fucking mute on. Shit. Some bitch. Well, anyway, what I was saying was, this is the things that, like you said, in the same sentence, he says, I didn't know Ronnie King, but yeah, I knew Ronnie King.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things and these mannerisms where he throws his hands up, you know, like, hey, did you see what I'm saying here? You know, like looking for approval from the jury or the prosecutor. These are the things that get him, get his brother a 6-6 hung jury, even though he confessed to murder.
Mm-hmm. That's the key. If people can't see that right there, his brother fucking confessed. He confessed, and he still got a 6-6. How the fuck can anybody fuck that up but Ernie Shell? That's the way Ernie does. That's why Daddy disowned him, because he was one of them kind of people.
Yeah.
And he said that he stated that he had worked for him before, and he could.
Oh, he also, hang on, let me back it up just a few seconds here. He also said that he did not talk to Shelby on the phone on those dates. Those dates were the dates that Ernie and I heard the confession. Ernie said he was told the confession that day earlier. And then he brought Shelby to my fucking house knowing that he had confessed to murder.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shelby told me what he did. And then that night, we went to the state police post. And Ernie had probably said that in a statement. Otherwise, the prosecution wouldn't have asked him that.
Right.
And then he just made him look foolish. You know, no, I didn't talk to him at the end. It was 2 weeks prior to that. Well, 2 weeks prior was actually a week before the murder.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work out, Ernie?
Well, I mean, do remember in that call to Amber that he made, he also predicted. So I'm sure the prosecution knows that. You know what I mean? Or not the prosecution, but the defense attorneys know that because it's part of the discovery. So pretty much, you know, Shelby's going to confess. Well, Ernie had to have known. You know, all of that put in together, Ernie's not doing good for himself.
No. Hey, listen, you're talking about a murder trial, right? A murder trial where you're determining justice for a man who's been murdered and possibly the rest of somebody's life, whether they're innocent or guilty. And this jury deliberated just a couple hours before being deadlocked on a 6-6 hung jury. They couldn't work it out. 6-6. It's not like one person was holding out or two. Half of them.
Yep. 50%.
With a confession.
Mm-hmm.
Was through like he was a manager or something at some apartment complex in Eastbrook. And he said that he stated that he had worked for him before and he could make money off of him. And that was pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
And of course.
Oh, yeah, let me stop that right there, man. I'm sorry, Penny. Penny messaged me right before the live started, actually, just about five or 10 minutes before it started. Ariel is really sick. She needs extra prayers. If everybody can, please remember Ariel and Mama and Grandma and the whole family in your prayers. She's got some kind of viral infection or something, and they think it's going to be harder on her than meningitis could be.
Oh.
So, she's got 6 weeks probably of medicine and more hospital care and treatment. So she's got a long road.
I'll be praying.
Yeah. So
More than normal.
Absolutely. And we got a army of people praying behind you right here, Penny. I firmly believe that helps. But we'll also we'll keep doing as much as we can to help Mama Bear and Daddy out, while they're there too. So, and I'm going to send you. I'll send her the money tonight from the cash apps from the tooth campaign.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right. So let's get back to Ernie here. But yeah, y'all keep Ariel and the family in your prayers, please.
So I never did do that.
Never did do what?
No, I never did take him to Ronnie King. Or
did he tell you why he was wanting to go to Ronnie King?
No, he just said he worked for him before in the past, and he could work for him and make money.
Okay. All right. Do you recall informing Detective Cornett that Shelby had called you and started speaking about the death of Ronnie King?
It was not a phone call. It was face-to-face.
Okay. The first time was face-to-face?
The first time was he had hinted on that. He said, "Did you hear about what happened to Ronnie King?" And I said, "Who?" Because that was not even a familiar name for me at that time. And then I started looking into it, and I was like, yeah, because I was actually on the computer, and I was looking up topics when he was talking about it, as he was talking about it.
Yeah.
And I was seeing things that he was saying, and nobody knew exactly what had all happened, but he was filling in pretty much the gaps and being in private investigations. It was kind of clicked on. And then I asked him a question. I said, well, who's involved in this and everything? And he stated out, I've heard Kevin Dixon and another name by the name of Tim Hall, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
Had Shelby ever talked to you about robbing Ronnie King in the past?
No.
Huh?
No.
Did you inform Detective?
Shook his head no, or shook his head yes, said the words no.
Cornett that he had?
Not
before it happened. Everything. I mean, if you're actually the actual.
Bro, I got to see these transcripts from Ernie's testimony or Ernie's statement to Detective Cornett.
Okay, I'll find
Are
him.
you paying attention to what he keeps asking him? Like, obviously, Ernie told Detective Cornett. Here's what I'm saying anyway, because why would the prosecution keep asking if Ernie didn't tell Detective Cornett these things? But they keep saying, do you remember telling him on the phone that you talked to Shelby on the phone and that Shelby wanted to rob Ronnie King on the phone, that on the phone? And Ernie keeps saying, no. So obviously his statement and what he's saying right now are different. I really would love to see that if you still got it. And I know you do somewhere. I know how you are.
Yeah. No, I've got the ones of his statement. I think I have yours and his actually.
Yeah, I'd like to see mine too. Like I said, I don't even remember. I don't remember the statement. I don't remember what I said on the witness stand. Not without watching it,
Right.
What Shelby said to me either time. I've heard that recording, probably 20 times now. So, all right.
Confession, when he confessed to me, he told me the whole story. But before prior events, no, he never said nothing about that, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Are you aware whether or not the interview between you and Mr. Cornett was recorded?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
See?
Yeah, they have to know, bro.
Yeah, let me back this up just a few minutes. Like, listen to this line of questions he's giving him about what he told Detective Cornett, and then the last question there was, "Are you aware that the things you said to Detective Cornett were recorded?" Like, check this shit out, bro.
Do that. I never did.
Never did do what?
No, I never did take him to Ronnie King. Or
did he tell you why he was wanting to go to Ronnie King?
No, he just said he worked for him before in the past, and he could work for him and make money.
Okay. All right. Do you recall informing Detective Cornett that Shelby had called you and started speaking about the death of Ronnie King?
It was not a phone call. It was face-to-face.
Okay. The first time was face-to-face?
The first time was he had hinted on that. He said, "Did you hear about what happened to Ronnie King?" And I said, "Who?" Because that was not even a familiar name for me at that time. And then I started looking into it, and I was like,
hold on.
Yeah, because I was on the
2 weeks before his brother
topics when he was talking about it, as he was talking about it.
Yeah.
And I was seeing.
Do what now?
2 weeks before his brother was asking him about Ronnie King and taking him over there and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So he's just sitting there still lying, straight up.
Yeah, he can't keep nothing straight. And I'm telling you, bro, and I didn't even realize it the first few times we went over this.
Yeah.
Everything he's saying, like, is just contradictory to everything he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, he said in 10 seconds later, say something different.
Yep.
I bet you the damn prosecution was like beating their heads against the wall.
Probably.
Things that he was saying, and nobody knew exactly what it all happened, but he was filling in pretty much the gaps and being in private investigations. You know, it was kind of clicked on. And then I asked him a question. I said, well, who's involved in this and everything? And he stated out, I've heard Kevin Dixon and another name by the name of Tim Hall, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
Had Shelby ever talked to you about robbing Ronnie King in the past?
No.
Huh?
No.
Did you inform Detective Cornett that he had?
Not before it happened. Everything. I mean, if you're asking the actual confession when he confessed to me, he told me the whole story. But before prior events, no, he never said nothing about that. If that's what you're asking.
Okay. Are you aware whether or not the interview between you and Mr. Cornett was recorded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was it or wasn't?
See, that's the thing, man.
All right.
He just like.
Well, let's go then to the first time from your statements here today. When was the first time that?
Go ahead.
Just like with us, and on live streams and everything else, he's juggling all this bullshit, and he's forgotten what he has said to other people. Now, Detective Cornett was one of the lead investigators in this case.
Yeah.
Or the lead. I think he was the lead. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, any kind of statements that he's taken from anybody, it's going to be either recorded or videoed. Guaranteed. And I guarantee you these people are sitting there knowing Ernie said that Shelby was looking to rob Ronnie King, and he told Detective Cornett that. Why would he go and tell a badge that his brother wanted him to take him up there and rob him, but sitting on the stand say it didn't happen, knowing good and well it was recorded? He just sat there and said it. It was in person. You know? It was recorded. There's no way a cop sits down and takes a statement without an audio recording of some type. But Ernie's sitting there playing. Fucking up his own lies.
Yep.
Just like when he didn't have that special task force following his Uncle John Paul.
Yep.
Recorded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was it or was it not?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go then to the first time from your statements here today. When was the first time that you said something about confessing? When was the first time that Shelby informed you of his involvement with Ronnie King's murder?
I think it was the day before, the 25th, 24th.
Okay, and how did that conversation arise?
He actually called me up on the phone. He said, I'm on my way. I think he said, I'm on my way down, and I want to have a brother's day and a family's day. And I said, that's cool. I said, that's real nice. I mean, he just had got a job, you know, he was married, and I thought everything was going good. But after I started talking with him, and he was saying he was wanting to go to Everett's and get the family, and just he had a bag of presents for them, and something in his voice just triggered, and it, you know, just instincts. And I just started realizing things, and I drew a timeline up and started putting pieces together, what I know to what happened, and, you know, from the internet really. And just as he's telling me things, he was like, well, I want you to meet. He said, that file you've got, he said, you used for a mask or something. He said, I need you to bring that. And I forgot about the file. And of course I met him at Walmart in Corbin, Kentucky. And he asked, first question he asked me, he's like, did you bring the file? I was like, no, I didn't bring the file. And he said, oh, we really need that God bless the file, and I really don't want to go to Lowe's or wherever to get one. And then as we sat in the vehicle, he pretty much explained what all happened.
Okay, so tell me what he explained, what all happened.
First thing he done, he said, I know you do hockey mask, and you're related to the Friday the 13th industry, and you do certain things for them. He says, I want you to know something, Holmes. He said, I'm a real killer. And then that's
all right. Let me stop right here. I'm gonna back it up just a second before we get to Holmes. I'm the real killer. For one, if any of you have heard Shelby Shell speak, and if you've heard the trial, then you've heard, or you know, here we played his WYMT interview, and we played his confession. You know, you hear me? You hear me? You know what I'm saying? You hear me? You know what I'm saying? It's not feasible or believable for me to think that Shelby Shell said, I know you're related to the Friday the 13th industry or something like, you know, whatever he says.
Yeah.
Nah, bull. I'm calling bull fucking shit. No way he said that.
Nope.
You know, scary movies, Friday the 13th even, but Friday the 13th industry. Come on, Ernie. Shit.
you do certain things for them. He says, I want you to know something, Holmes. He said, I'm a real killer. And then that's when he pulled the pistol out. And then at that point, I mean, I was already putting it together in my head what was going on just from prior experience.
And when he told you that he was a real killer, what did you say?
I tried to laugh it off, like, no, man, you're crazy, man. No, you know, just like that. And he's like, no, I'm a real killer, Holmes, or something like that. And that's when I really knew it was serious.
Holmes. I'm the real killer, Holmes. Dude, that's not believable. I want y'all to watch his body language when he tells you this story about I'm the real killer, Holmes. Watch his body language right here. And then how he looks at the jury.
He told you that he was a real killer. What did you say?
I tried to laugh it off, like, no, man, you're crazy, man. No, you know, just like that. And he's like, no, I'm a real killer, Holmes, or something like that. And that's when I really knew it was serious.
Okay. Did he explain why he was a real killer? What made him a real killer?
No, he said after that was over, during this point, he said, you know, the Ronnie, he said, I'm just going to let you know something. He said, you're my brother. He said, I love you. He said, but I'm just going to tell you something. He said, I am a real killer. And I said, of course, I was trying to laugh it off again, trying to change the subject, pretty much what I was trying to do. Then he looked at me and he said, you know the Ronnie King? And I said, Ronnie King? I said, yeah. He said, the one that was killed up in Everett and all that? He said, I did that. And then after that, he started with the story. If I needed to.
So in the story, after he told you he's killed Ronnie King, first off, let's go back to the gun. You said that he had a weapon on him.
Mm-hmm.
What did that look like?
It was a blued 38.
Lie.
Wesson, what I would call it.
Lie. Wasn't even Smith and Wesson.
Oh, here we go. Blue 38 Smith & Wesson.
That's what was missing from Ernie or from Ronnie's. But that ain't what Shelby had. Not at all.
Ernie, you're making shit up, ain't you? You're trying to sell your story to the jury instead of telling the truth.
And how did you know it was a Smith & Wesson?
I could see the label on it, and I'm familiar with weapons.
The label.
Now,
I can see the label on it, and I'm familiar with weapons. Now, let me ask y'all a question. The label, that's on the handle, right? It is. It's a rhetorical question. Yeah. But Shelby's got the gun in his hands. How does he see the label, Holmes? You can't. But he's familiar with weapons, so maybe that's what did it.
you had said earlier that he had brought you a file, or you had requested that you bring him a file. Is that right?
Right.
What did he use that file for?
Well, we had to go back and get the file because he insisted.
Okay.
So we went back to the house. I actually told him, I said, just go to Lowe's and get one. And that's when he says, you're never to be seen. You're never, when you're doing anything like this, you're never supposed to be around cameras or anywhere you can be seen or located or positioned. And I said, okay. And he was getting kind of like, he was getting hostile a little bit, but you know, that's the way he's always been until he gets his way. Pretty much, I took him back to the house and I went in the room and it was a chainsaw file. I think it was a 12-inch file at the time. It's about like this right here, a little thin file. And I brought it out to him and he took it away from me. And he pulled the weapon out and he started filing it. He said, he started telling me the rules and the laws, the way it goes. He was talking, he's like, you kill 5 people with one handgun. After the 5th person's killed, you have to do away with the handgun. And he was filing it. I think he may have had it marked where he was changing it. So.
Okay. So
now, what kind of sense does that make?
Not a damn bit. Not a bit.
Yeah.
You would think after one, you would think you would get rid of it.
Yeah, and remember, we're talking about a guy who's been in custody basically since he was 11 years old, all except for a few months. Not even a full year that he spent outside of custody of either the state or, well, the state, juvenile or adult, since he was 11 years old. But this guy's got all these expertise on killing people with guns. I don't believe it, Ern. Yeah. You're making shit up as you go. This is why the jury don't believe you.
where was he placing the file in relation to the gun? What was he doing with it? If you can describe the action.
He filed both. I'm sure he filed. I think he filed the chamber. I'm not sure. I was driving at the time, and he was doing it while I was driving.
Okay. So file, you said chainsaw file.
Yeah.
Is that made of plastic? Is it made of metal? Is it hard? What is that?
It's a tubular shaped. I don't know exactly what they're actually made out of, but it's tubular shaped, and it's got a little handle. It's got a little point on it, which I never used the file part. I used the point to engrave my mask and stuff with it and make little things with it. But the part that he used was the actual.
Notice he clicks when he lies.
Yep.
File part of it.
Does it on his live streams.
Actual part that's actually.
Yep.
It's got the riffles and stuff on it. So.
Okay. How was he connecting the file to the gun? On some of these questions,
Right.
they
Oh,
may seem foolish, but I don't know anything about files and guns.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What they're made out of. I don't know.
Right.
But I think he just opened the chamber and he was sitting there and he was just, going down the chamber.
So he was filing the
He
chamber.
was filing the weapon, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move back then. You said earlier that at some point he started describing to you the killing, the murder. Did he inform you how he entered Ronnie King's house? How did he get in?
he told this story that he said there was because he kind of was skipping bits and pieces of it, and then I pretty much was asking a few questions on making him stay on subject because I could put a timeline even further because I already had started. I mean, I'd already had
Whatever, Ernie.
And as he's told a story. He said Ronnie was on the phone with his mother, and he said, "Mom, Kevin's supposed to come by. Kevin or Tim or somebody's supposed to come by, and later on." And he said, pretty much, there was a knock on the door after that. He said, "Oh, Mom, it's Kevin, it's Kevin."
Right.
And then he hung the phone up. And then when he said, "Who is it?" They said it was Kevin. He said it was Kevin. So that's
okay. So Shelby told you that he heard Ronnie King on the phone tell somebody. You don't know who that was, right?
His mother. He said he was on the phone with his mother. He could hear him talking.
On the phone with his mom, and he said, "Kevin's at the door."
Right.
Kevin.
Yeah, because he knocked on the door about the time after he heard that.
Now, how could Shelby, if he's standing outside the door, hear Ronnie's mother on the phone? And Ernie's telling the story like you can, if you listen closely, he's telling the story almost as if he lived it. And then he'll catch himself. And, he told me. I think it actually turned out to be Ronnie King's sister he was on the phone with.
It was.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
No, it was. It was his sister.
Yeah.
And he thought that what's his name? You just said his name. Damn, Dixon. Yeah, Dixon. He thought it was Dixon at the door. Somebody just knocked, and he said Dixon was at the door. But that's all that happened. Like Ernie's talking about what the public knew.
Exactly.
Like it was everything that had been regurgitated on topics and everything else. That's why Tam Hall's name is mixed into this and everything else. Like, yeah, they were on the list of suspects, but everybody knew the list of suspects, knew how long they had held Kevin Dixon and checked into him and all that shit. So Ernie, he's made up a lot of shit, and now he's trying to regurgitate what the public had said to try to gain some kind of credibility for some reason. But he's going to turn around and lie here again in a minute.
Yeah. Katie, Shelby, the brother, got a 6-6 hung jury, and then the following year, maybe a year passed, but it was in the next year, he pleaded guilty. So he doesn't get out until 2039. He goes to court for something tomorrow. So we'll find that out. But yeah, he and Ernie don't get along. Many people think Ernie was there, speakeasy, and at some point Rap was trying to say I was there, but I have no connection to anybody from Everett. So well, have you not heard the confession, Katie? He actually confessed to the murder in a phone call with me, and I recorded it. So I think he pleaded guilty to avoid life in prison. He got 20 years, and he was already in jail serving 10 years for something he did after he got arrested, kidnapping guards. He's a violent criminal.
He also essayed people in jail.
Yeah.
And had to go to the hole for that. And I think he's probably gotten years added to his time currently. Like what he got from that whole Ronnie King thing, I'd be willing to bet he's picked up some more time, bro.
Probably.
And I mean, he's got that case coming up soon in the same county as the detention center or whatever, the facility. So yeah, he's picked up some now. I'd like to just go back and look how much or just what charges he's accumulated over his time in prison and out of prison. Because that's a fucking rap sheet right there.
Oh yeah.
Between what he did in South Carolina, what he's done in Kentucky, what did he do in jail?
Yeah. See, Shelby had just been out of prison for about 3 months when he committed that murder.
Yep.
He was in prison for a while in South Carolina for going to old people's homes and disguised as Meals on Wheels. And he would gain access to their home, tie them up, and rob them.
Duct tape and zip tie, just like Ronnie King.
Yep. Let's hear his liar's testimony here.
That was his way in. That was his whole thing.
Okay.
See, when anything with Shelby Lee always the kind of person, he'd tell a story and he would leave certain parts out of it, but then he would go back and he'd fill the gaps himself, and he just had to keep an open mind about everything.
All right. So he says he hears Ronnie King say, Kevin's at the door, and then you just stated that Shelby told you that he said, when Ronnie King said, who is it?
Yeah.
Shelby said, it's Kevin.
He noted to say it was Kevin because he heard him talking to his mom that Kevin was going to be coming there. So
Gotcha.
That was his entryway.
So he got in that way by saying it was Kevin.
Yeah. He said when Ronnie came to the door and opened the door and seen his Shelby Lee, he said, oh, man, you ain't Kevin. He said, oh, man, I just playing with you. Hey, what can I do? You know, and he walked in for him and everything. He opened the door and he come on in, Shelby, you know, and then I tell all the stories from me.
Yeah, let's keep
and
going. What happened after he says it's Kevin? He gets in the door and he says, you know, what happens then?
He said, I need to make some money. He said, I need to make some money. You anything I can do for you? You got any work or anything I can do? And then Ronnie said no. He said no, Shelby. He said you can. I ain't really got nothing at this time or something like that. And Shelby said, well, can I do anything, you know, for you? And hand it to him. And he said that Ronnie said that, yeah. He said, you can give me head or something for $20 or $30. I forget. And he jumps on the bed and puts his arms behind his head.
Okay. So he's gotten in the house, Shelby.
Yep.
And he's asking Ronnie for money.
Right.
And he says, yeah, you can do
sexual favor.
A sexual favor for $20 for me. I'll give you $20.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what did Shelby tell you happened?
He said Ronnie jumped on the bed and put his hands behind his head and just rested up on the pillow. And Shelby said that he looked through the room and he noticed he's seen a shotgun or something in the corner. And about the time he seen that shotgun, he had his hand coming out of his pants where he had the gun. And then he said he looked back at Ronnie and he said Ronnie had already had him beat to a weapon. Ronnie already had a weapon. And he said that he was shaking real bad. He's like, no. I want to sell you this weapon. I want to sell you this gun, actually. And he said, no, Shelby, something's up with this. And he pretty much, he said, Shelby stated that during the time he was shaking and everything that he shot and it went by him. And he said, no, you don't understand. He was trying to make his way toward him. So he talked him out of putting his gun down. He said once he put his weapon to the side, Shelby was close enough to hit him with the back end of the weapon or something and hit him with the elbow.
Okay, so was that it? Was it over then? He just hit him with the gun?
No. He grabs a hold of him and he tells him, he asked him, he's like, where's all your money at and this and that. And at this time there was a shelf or something. And he's pointing, he's like to the shelf or something. And he turns over the whole shelf in a bookcase. And he said in a bookcase, there was like a key or some other, I don't know if it was jewelry or what it was at the time, but there was something in that bookcase. And he had a bag and he just started stuffing stuff in it. And he was trying to get him. So he said he put the gun up to him and he asked him what the code for the safe or something was or where the key was at. I don't know. I can't recall that.
Okay. At any point in time, did Shelby talk about restraining Ronnie King?
Yes. After that, he made it look like he was just going to rob him. He kept telling him, he said, I'm going back to jail anyways. I can't stand this. I can't live this kind of life. And he says, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tie you up and I'm just robbing you. And, you know, my life's already ruined. So I guess he coerced him into thinking that he was just going to rob him, but he was going to tie him up.
Okay. How did he tell you tied him up?
He said he used duct tape and zip ties.
Duct tape and zip ties. Where did he tell you he duct taped him?
He sat him in a chair. He said he sat him in a chair or something, and he was duct taping, and he was trying to duct tape him. And he said that Ronnie kept moving and breaking, and he said finally he got the zip ties, and he's zip tying him. And he never really mentioned the placements of the zip ties. He just said, figuratively speaking, zip ties.
Yeah.
And as he's taping him up, he got to where his mouth was out, and he was getting ready to start taping it. And he said Ronnie started moving and didn't want to, because he couldn't breathe. Obviously, he was just going to some way like suffocate him. And he said he just started. He said his dying adrenaline was kicking in, and he was breaking stuff loose. And he said he looked at me. He said, "Never before have I ever had anybody break loose and duct tape and 7 zip ties." That's what he said.
Shelby said that about
Shelby
Ronnie
said
King.
that.
So as Shelby's telling you that he's duct taping Ronnie King's head and mouth and coming up over his nose, Ronnie King starts to break free.
Yes, his adrenaline kicked in, and he was starting to move and break free. And Shelby said he went through the house looking for a hammer to knock his brains out with it. And he said he couldn't find the hammer, and then he finally felt that pillow, and he said he tried to finish doing it. He said he was coming up out of it. He said he put the pillow over his head, and he said Shelby had a little motto back then. I don't know if he's still true to this day, but it was everybody has the expiration date, and he's the stamper.
Uh-huh.
And he had.
You see him look at the jury when he said that?
Mm-hmm. He's looking for a reaction. That's why.
Yeah. Let me back it up just a couple of seconds. I want y'all to notice when he says, and he's the stamper, everybody's got an expiration date, and he's the stamper. Watch him look at the jury.
A little motto back then. I don't know if he's still true to this day, but it was everybody has the expiration date, and he's the stamper. And
so Leslie pointed out that there's no way Shelby would sit and tell him all that. I don't think he would either. And Shelby didn't tell me all that either. Like I said, pretty much word for word, what he told me, a few hours before I got him on recording was what he said on recording. I don't remember all of it, but I know it didn't take that long. The phone call was 4 minutes long. So, there's, I just, it just sticks out to me that all these details that Ernie's adding in there, it's weird. It's weird because, if I'm going to tell you, like, okay, Kemper, in the recording, Shelby says, "Do you think I can trust him?" I said, "Yeah, man, he's your brother. He loves you." And so why would he ask me if he thought he could trust him if he'd already told Ernie all these fucking details?
And he knows that you can't trust Ernie already.
Yeah.
He finds out the hard way even more.
Yeah.
Never, he goes to trial and finds out what Ernie had been trying to do,
Yeah. All right.
He had a reason for everybody to be, why he was doing it to them. And like even members of my own family or our own family, he had reasons that he wanted to, go forward with. But anyways, he told Ronnie, he said, "You remember my son and Tabitha, they lived in your apartments and everything." He said, "Your apartment had mold or something in it and you didn't do nothing about it. My son ended up in a hospital." And he said, "That's your reason to die." And he said he put the gun over the pillow, and he said he pressed really, really hard. And he said as he's doing it, he said, "Ronnie said, they can live there for free. They can live there for free."
Bullshit.
They don't live there no more, motherfucker.
All right. Yeah, I want to back that up. We're going to hear that again because I want to point something out. Kemper, if I'm holding a pillow down over your face really, really hard where you can't breathe, can you tell me that they can live there for free?
You're going to have a conversation with them while you're doing it? No. That's the dumbest shit. And we just listened to Shelby's confession the other day. He didn't say anything about all this shit, did he?
Nope.
Not one bit. Not a bit. Not a smidge of it. Except for he put the pillow over his head and popped.
Yep. Yeah.
Wonder why we got all the extra with Ernie telling the story.
Yep. And he was giving some pretty gory details. I mean, he told me, he went through the house and looked for something to kill him real quiet with, like a hammer. Couldn't find it, came back in, kicked him in the face, called him a son of a bitch. Got down on him and put the pillow there, and he said Ronnie King reached up and grabbed his arm, and he pulled the trigger. So, but none of that crazy, like I like to say, grandiose storytelling shit. I'm telling you, Ernie's storytelling and the confession were so different. That might be why. Well, it's 100% why. Ernie's testimony is 100% why they got a 6-6 hung jury. 100% why.
Yep, that his laptop and everything else. Yep.
Their apartments and everything. He said your apartment had mold or something in it, and you didn't do nothing about it. My son ended up in the hospital, and he said that's your reason to die. And he said he put the gun over the pillow, and he said he pressed really, really hard. And he said, as he's doing it, he said, Ron, he said, they can live there for free. They can live there for free. And he said, they don't live there no more, motherfucker. And bam. And that's what he told me.
Okay, so bam. I mean, I think that I know what you mean by bam.
Yes,
but unfortunately, this is a court of law, and we have to be specific. What do you mean?
He shot Ronnie.
Did Shelby Shell, your brother,
Shelby shot Ronnie,
tell you
yes,
that he shot Ronnie King?
Yes.
Did he tell you that he killed Ronnie King?
Yes. And
he told you that he did that by placing a pillow over his head,
mm-hmm.
and then putting the pistol on it,
mm-hmm.
and shooting him.
He didn't say whereabouts the pillow was placed, though. He just said he put a pillow over there, and he put the weapon.
That don't make no sense.
But he just said he put the pillow over his head, didn't he?
Right.
And then he didn't. Then he just now said he didn't say that. Let's back that up.
Wow.
He said he put the gun over the pillow, and he said he pressed really, really hard. And he said, as he's doing it, he said, Ron, he said, to be, why he was doing it to him. And like even members of my own family or our own family, he had reasons that he wanted to, go forward with. But anyways, he told Ronnie, he said, you remember my son and Tabitha, they lived in your apartments and everything. He said, your apartment had mold or something in it, and you didn't do nothing about it. My son ended up in the hospital, and he said, that's your reason to die. And he said he put the gun over the pillow, and he said he pressed really, really hard. And he said, as he's doing it, he said, Ron, he said, they can live there for free. They can live there for free. And he said, they don't live there no more, motherfucker. And bam. And that's what he told me.
Okay, so bam. I mean, I think that I know what you mean by bam.
Yes,
but unfortunately, this is a court of law, and we have to be specific. What do you mean?
He shot Ronnie.
Did Shelby Shell, your brother,
Shelby shot Ronnie,
tell you
yes,
that he shot Ronnie King?
Yes.
Did he tell you that he killed Ronnie King?
Yes. And
he told you that he did that by placing a pillow over his head,
mm-hmm.
and then putting the pistol on it,
mm-hmm.
and shooting him.
He didn't say whereabouts the pillow was placed, though. He just said he put a pillow over there, and he put the weapon
not even 2
close
minutes
to the pillow, and he pressed down really, really hard. He shot him.
Then what happened? What did he tell you happened next?
Donna, that's Ernie's story, but he was not tied to a chair.
Not at all.
No, but you're right. If Ernie's story was true and correct, instead of him just making up lies to try to sell something to a jury, you're correct. He couldn't reach up if he was tied to a chair. He wasn't tied to a chair.
No, his hands and feet were tied.
Yeah, the man had his ankles tied together, his wrists tied together, and
It was
duct tape over his mouth and nose.
so yeah, like this
Was
story.
laying flat on his back on the floor.
Yeah.
When he met his mate.
That story Ernie just told is complete bullshit, because if Ernie knew anything, he would know. Like what Jimbo just said, his ankles were bound, his wrists were bound, his mouth and eyes were covered. Okay? Now, how the hell is he going to have a conversation through the duct tape and not being able to fight off anything? Like, ain't nothing going to happen there. And yes, that shot was in the head. Ernie, you know it was. You don't know where you are with your lies. This is like the 10th time we've heard you contradict yourself tonight.
Yeah. And that's another thing, Pink Bolo, you're correct, Donna, Pink Bolo. He couldn't have said all that because he absolutely 100% there was duct tape over his mouth and nose.
And there's no reason to tie his hands and his wrists together after you pull that trigger.
Right.
It just don't make sense. So there's no way that conversation went down, and there's no way that story has any truth to it. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
He said after he shot him, he went around and making sure he didn't leave any kind of, or no, after he shot him, he said there was a big puddle of blood or something, and he went to turn around and he slipped in the blood.
Not true.
No, no puddle.
He went back out the door. When he went back to the door, he said I think he said he was walking up the tracks or something. He remembered he left his fingerprints or something on the blinds, but when he first come in, and he had thought somebody pulled up in the yard or what drove by the house or something, and he had put his hands before he put gloves on or something in a way. That's what he told me. I don't know if it's significant on it, but he said then he went back and he knew that he'd actually forgot what all he touched, the doorknob, the door handle, and all that. And he said he just had to burn the place.
Did he tell you how he burned it?
I can't recall exactly where he said he started.
But he didn't burn it. He attempted to burn it.
Mm-hmm.
And the door handle and all that shit that you said he just left fingerprints on didn't have any fingerprints, Ernie.
There was actually one print that was taken from the scene, and it was a partial palm print on the safe, wasn't it?
Yep, belonged to Kevin Dixon.
Yep, and that's one reason why he was top of the list for suspects.
Yeah, well, they arrested him like hours after the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They had him detained, Kevin Dixon says, for 9 days. I don't think it was that long, but it might have been 6 or 7 days at least until they had Shelby. So
That, I mean, it's but he did say he burnt the place. But he said before he burnt the place, he went back where Ronnie was at because he said the gunshot was still or something in his ears and it was deafening him. And he thought somebody had come in the door because it was open. When he left, he said he thought it was closed. And he got behind the wall and he said, I thought he was kind of saying he's paranoid or something like that and he's hearing things. But he said it was where the gunshot had went off and it was in an enclosed area and it just deafened him. And
you thought he said, and then you said, but he said. Which one was it, Ernie? Did he think or did he say? Like, you hear that shit? Listen to this.
He said before he burnt the place, he went back where Ronnie was at because he said the gunshot was still or something in his ears and it was deafening him. And he thought somebody had come in the door because it was open. When he left, he said he thought it was closed. And he got behind the wall and he said, I thought he was kind of saying he's paranoid or something like that and he's hearing things. But he said it was where the gunshot had went off and it was in an enclosed area and it just deafened him. And then he says he goes back to where
there was no puddle of blood, Mr. Kitty. There was no puddle of blood.
No, definitely not.
No slip,
no slid up in.
Right. It just didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Deafening, exactly. Kensuke. Deafening.
Yeah, there was no footprint. There was no slide, nothing like that in evidence anywhere. And like I said, I've seen the crime scene photos. and I wish I had never seen them.
They're haunting. They are.
He said he knelt down and he talked to him. That's what he said. So,
Now look at his body language right here.
Yep.
Now, are you trying to tell the jury how crazy your brother is here, Ernie? What's his?
and it just deepened him. And then he says he goes back to where Ronnie was at and everything. He said he knelt down and he talked to him. That's what he said.
Look at those hands. Now, what is that? What is that body language right there, y'all?
Just like when he's on a live stream, he's telling that lie, trying to sell him.
Sounds like Ern's watched too many murder movies on Lifetime, doesn't it though?
Sure does.
Yeah, MS, I've seen the uncensored and they are so disturbing.
Yeah, that's bad.
Disturbing censored too. Right, Kintsugi. Knelt down in a puddle of blood. Weird, ain't it?
Right.
So, and then I asked him, I said, how do you, I think I even mentioned, I said, he was dead at this time. He's like, yeah, but after I got finished with it, and then he said, that's it. That never told me no more specifics or anything about it.
No more Pacifics.
Now, concerning the fire and the burning, he tell you why he did that? Why did he do that?
He said that he had to burn the place because his fingerprints and just to get rid of all the evidence.
So he was trying to get rid of evidence.
That don't make sense.
Burning Ronnie King's house.
No.
Now, did he say anything about what he had taken from Ronnie King's house to you?
He said there was jewelry. I can't remember exactly the amount of money that he had said he took. I thought it was something like $487 or something he said.
Yeah, he told Amber something different.
I can't remember exactly the amount, but I think he said something like $487. That's pretty fucking exact, Ernie.
1,156.
Right. Ernie with his damn numbers, right? 47% of all, 27% of 85% of 37% of people.
Ernie, you're stupid.
It was jewelry and some old, I think he said he had some old money or something like that.
Old rings?
Yeah.
Did you ever see any jewelry or anything that he had said he had taken from Ronnie King?
I had seen like a fragment or two of it prior or after that. I recalled I'd seen what I thought was it. I can't.
Prior?
So
Freudian slip?
Yeah, and how do you a fragment? What did you see a part of a old money or part of an old ring?
Yeah, Shelby took and beat those rings to pieces with a hammer, bro. Tried to melt them down. That's real. He did try to do that. Like when you see the bag of evidence, there's fragments of jewelry, busted up pieces of jewelry, and charred from where he tried to melt it all over the place. But listen to this closely. I think it's another Freudian slip.
Or something like that.
Old rings?
Yeah.
Did you ever see any jewelry or anything that he had said he had taken from Ronnie King?
I had seen like a fragment or two of it prior or after that. I recalled I'd seen what I thought was it. I can't really be sure if it was really it or not. I know that he stated that he had the jewelry on him in a black bag. That's
okay. Was the jewelry beaten?
Yes, it was crushed up and beaten at the time I seen it. The pieces I seen.
Did he tell you he'd done that, found it that way, or that he'd done that?
No, he done it. I think I'm not sure if there was a ring or had initials or something on it or something that you could still make out something.
Now here's another thing that, like I said, with the confession and with some of this evidence, people say there wasn't no evidence. But with some of this evidence they had, and they still got a 6-6 hung jury, like the jewelry. They did find the jewelry on Shelby. It was in that truck when he got arrested. And it had been attempted to have been destroyed and melted down. Now, on Shelby's cell phone, between the time of the murder and the time of his arrest, somebody from Shelby's cell phone had Googled how to melt jewelry, how to melt gold. So even with that evidence, 6-6 hung jury. And you're seeing it. You're seeing the reason why. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science. Just let me ask you all. Be honest. If you don't want to vote, just don't put nothing in the chat. If you're sitting on the jury and it goes to the jury right now, are you putting Shelby away for the rest of his life? Based on, and you haven't heard the defense yet. You're just seeing Ernie talk from the prosecution side of it. Or do you see a nervous liar right here? Put a 1 in the chat if you don't vote Shelby guilty right now. Listen, said that bitch straight telling on himself. He said prior to melting it down, plus the initials. Yeah, kitty cat, you was there. That's right, Paisley, nervous, cocky liar. Here comes your one, Skern Dog. The killer inside.
Some kind of form of, it was a bigger piece of the metal thing that I recall seeing. And I knew because there's a little bitty bag, little bitty bag of it he had.
He's seen every bit of it, man.
But I never really got to like sit there and observe it and look through it, nothing like that.
But he told you that's what came from Ronnie King's?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And it was beaten up jewelry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you recall telling the detective that Shelby had $60-some on him?
I mean, I don't know about the $60-some. I think he stated that he had money when we went through Burger King after that.
Okay. So at this point in time, are you telling the detective this statement?
What's that?
Were you telling the detective what you're telling us now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Detective? At that point in time, as you're telling the detective what you're telling us now, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Did Shelby still have these things to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, he did.
Okay. All right. Now, you're in Corbin. Let's go back to you being in Corbin with Shelby, okay?
Okay.
Did you guys ever come into Harlan together after that?
Yes.
And before you'd spoken to the detective?
Yes.
So we were limiting the window when this was, right?
Yes.
Right around that February 25th, 24th period?
24th.
Okay.
The 24th.
Okay. So tell me about coming to Harlan. What was the purpose of that?
He said it was going to be a family day. And he wanted to go and buy. He had a bag of stuff that he left in the car. He said it was a bag of presents that he had for the family. And later on, we found out there wasn't a bag of presents, but he was telling me rules about the game on how you do it and get away with it. And he said, rule number 1, don't never be seen. Don't never make no stops nowhere. You go straight to the director, to the target and out. And at this whole time, I was trying to change subjects and do everything I could because I knew, I was shy of a doubt. I mean, I knew what was going on. And that pretty much gave me just the look on his face when I would look at him. It was just, and I would just get like these vibes of the evil. And that's what I thought, just plain evil. And I was like, I'm going to die. And as we was going through Dayhort, I think it's Dayhort, he stopped. He said, come up here. I'm going to show you something. And I drove him up to Dayhort there, and he stopped. He used the bathroom. He was using the bathroom. But this time, he's already told me this story. He left the pistol inside the car. And just like I told the detective, I said, I started to grab the pistol myself and shoot him because I knew what he was doing and I know what he was going to do because he'd already been, just letting on hints of what he's wanting to do. And then just, I don't know, it's just with my family, when it comes involved in my family, the things he said that he was going to do and how he's going to start pandemonium and the things that he know how to get away with and do.
Yep, that's what he said,
I
couldn't
do that. I couldn't go through that. I couldn't watch my family just be one by one took out of this world. Couldn't do it.
Same here,
As you
Storm.
were there in Decoy with your brother, were you fearful?
I was very scared. I mean, I've been a bounty hunter for, at that time, 12 years. And, I'd seen things before, but nothing like this. And putting myself in a situation where I'm in it. When he was out and he was using the bathroom, I really thought he was going to kill me. I really did. Because after he got back in, I said, just make me one promise. And he said, what's that? I said, just promise me if you're going to kill me, you don't shoot me. You give me a fighting chance. And he looked over and he laughed. He said, nah. He said, I couldn't do that. He said, you know too much of that martial arts shit.
Okay. All right. Shelby, I don't believe would have said that. This is a guy who, much like Ernie, tells a lot of stories about how tough he is, right? I remember, like I said, when Ernie brought him over to the house that first time, he was telling me all these stories about how he ran his gang in prison, and he was, the boss, and he had all these people working for him in prison and all this shit, but he's going to look at Ernie, who is smaller than Shelby, by the way, and say, for one, Ernie's going to say, promise me, if you're going to kill me, you're going to give me a fighting chance. Bullshit.
Well, didn't you say that both of them fought for you or fought on your circuit back in like 03 or 06 or some shit?
6, and they both lost.
And that was 6 or 7 years before this.
Yeah.
So Shelby knows good and well that Ernie can't fight.
Yeah. He knows. Look,
right.
Man, yeah, this. But I don't think Shelby's going to be the guy that goes, no, man, you know too much of that martial arts shit.
Absolutely not.
Whatever.
He just got out of prison. He's dealt with a lot better motherfuckers than Ernie ever thought of being.
Damn right.
He's not saying that shit. Whatever, Ernie.
He was scared of Shelby then, even more afraid now. He is beyond super, we're not.
Yep.
And
he runs down the highway about it. Don't shoot me, Shelby Shell.
Yep. Yeah, that's what he always says. Shelby Shell gonna shoot me.
Mm-hmm. I said, yeah. And then I knew then it was.
I said, yeah.
Okay, so what happened after that?
We drove to my mama's house. We drove to my mama's house, and it was I recall it might have been a Wednesday night because she had church, and as we was going up the driveway, my uncle Bruce stays in my mama's house, and he put 3 shells. He turned the chamber and he put 3 shells in the chamber of that pistol and turned it around and locked it in where the first one would actually go off, and it went nuts spinning. He put it to where the shell would go off. And I said, what are you doing, Shelby? And I started thinking in. I counted 3 shells. My mama, Bruce, and me. And that was what come to my mind. I knew then.
Okay. Another story specifically for the jury, right? Like, instead of saying he loaded the gun.
Hey, Shapey.
No, instead of saying that, he says he put 3 shells in the gun. And I knew my mama, Bruce, and me. I knew right then what was up. Come on, Ernie.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're trying too hard to sell your story to the jury, boy. Oh my God. Every time I watch this, I see more and more shit.
Mm-hmm. Never ends. Not with this fool.
So So we're going up the hill. I got his mind off something. I can't remember what I told him. He laid the gun in. And I was looking back and I said, what is this bag? Because I knew then something was really, really up. So when I reached back, I think I reached back to try to move the bag or something. And he put the gun down and he went, no. So I was like, kept going because I was drawing his attention off of it. And I kept reaching back like I was going to get that bag. And then when we pulled up and parked, we parked in my, down below the hill there. There's like a little spot right beside my Uncle Joe's. And we parked there. And he got out. I said, I'll just go look this bag up fast. He got out and run. Well, the gun was there. So I got out of the car when he opened that door there. And he already had it. He'd already shut the door and got his bag out. And I'd hit the lock button. And he said, no, I need to put this back in. Then I knew he was going for that gun. He was wanting to, but the door was locked and I wasn't doing that. I said, dude, what's wrong with you, man? I said, wait, why are you trying to do that? So I had to kind of start thinking like what a criminal would think like, and just years of experience and knowing how to kind of like deter situations.
Okay. Let me ask you all a serious question. All right. So here's what I want to know. Is this relevant to how he killed Ronnie King, whether he killed Ronnie King or what? Is it relevant?
Not at all.
Okay. Follow-up question. Why do you think the defense sits over there and lets him run with this shit?
Because it's doing exactly what Ernie was wanting it to do, but in the wrong way. He was trying to divert attention from himself, but he did it in such a way it brought all the attention to him.
Exactly. It's pointing the finger at Ernie more than anybody. Why is Ernie up there telling big stories, right? You know? Yeah, to tell on himself. The defense is sitting over there eating their fucking popcorn, Ernie.
They're about to get paid, and they got an easy ride because of this.
Yeah. Wow.
I start saying, dude, it's the end of the month anyway. Ain't nobody got no damn money. Oh, man, you're right. You're right. We need to do this. So anyway, we went to my mama's house, and my brother tried his best to get her to ride with us to church so we could take her to church. And I said, no. I said, Dub's already coming over, and she rides with him. And it was right at church time. And I finally confessed, and I tried to give hints to my uncle what was going on, but Shelby would follow me everywhere I go. And I was sitting there like, Bruce. And Bruce was asking some crazy questions. I thought he's getting ready to get killed. Because he was like, well, what are you boys doing up here? There's some reason you're up here. There's some reason that you're up here. Something's going on. And I was sitting there like, you idiot. And I was trying to give him facial expressions to shut up. Because, and you know, I tried to let off numerous hints, but I couldn't. And finally got Shelby back out of there. And then we pretty much got him to leave and everything. But when we got back to Harlan, he was chanting. He was like, you know, all these lawyers, you're friends with all these cops. They're your buddies. They're your friends. You know, Russell Allred. You know, Johnny Turner real good. You know, Jeff Brock. You know, Henry Johnson. They've got money. You're going to take me to their house. I said, Chevrolet, I said, I've not been in Harlan over 4 or 5 years, man. I don't know these people no more. I mean, I know them as acquaintances, in which, you know, I do know them, but I don't know where they live and, you know, where their residence or nothing's at. And he's like, yeah, you do too. And he says, all it's going to be is you're going to take me to their houses, and we're going to run up, and I'm going to knock on doors. So they open the door, I'm going to barge them in, and I'm going to take their money, make them give me their money. And he says, I'm going to kill them. And that's what it was. And I said, Shelby, why are you doing this for? What is it? I said, because Shelby, at the point when he got out of prison last time, he did not do no drugs. And Shelby was a real bad drug addict. And he said he don't do drugs no more. His new high is killing him. And that's what he said. That's exactly what he said.
So who was driving?
Yeah.
Me. You?
Yeah.
And at some point, do you start heading out of Harlan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when you're heading out of Harlan, does something happen at that point in time? Did you inform the detective?
Yes, sir.
What happened when you're heading out of
There
Harlan?
was a girl with her looked like about 2 or 3 year old son, was walking around. I think she had a Coach purse or some kind of purse, because it had the big old C's or something on it. And I think he seen that, and he said, damn, what a lick. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, damn, what a lick. I was like, well, this fool's come to his senses. That's what I was thinking, you know. I just thought it was a big phase and stuff. And it's right at the huddle house where the lights are at.
All right. As Leslie explained to y'all last night, there's no light right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's an intersection. What Ernie describes happening right there. And he's going to go into more detail right here. He's going to tell you 5 minutes worth of a story that you would have about 5 seconds before you pass right through that intersection and you're gone.
Right.
Absolutely could not possibly have happened the way he says it. Now, I'm not so sure the jury would even know that because this jury was from Bell County. Wasn't tried in.
Yep, they moved venues, didn't they?
Yeah. So, but that's just, you know, that's another thing that sticks out to me. Yeah, I'd be confused on that jury too, Pink Bolo. And that's another thing. That's why I think they're sitting over there. The defense is sitting over there eating this up. They're not objecting. They're letting Ernie talk.
Right. Like he's doing half the work for him, if not all of it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not saying, hey, how's that relevant? Hey, what does that do? No, whoa, stop. No, none of that.
They know exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, they love it. Like he's probably their best witness.
I mean, their client has confessed to the crime, not coerced. So yeah, they're doing anything and everything they can. When you got a fool like Ernie go up and knowing his credibility is what it is, they already know before this starts. That's why they put his ass on trial pretty much. It really wasn't his trial, but show me where they did all this shit right here to Shelby, the defense. Any of them, actually. Show me. Like Ernie was drugged through that fucker over and over again. Of course, he's up there lying. The defense knows it. They can hear the prosecution knowing it. So, yeah, let him roll with it, baby.
Yep. Let him make an ass of himself.
As he's coming out. And, you know, the road that comes around, and there's like the four-way there. And the lights are there. And I was sitting there looking, and I thought there was an undercover cop behind me, a couple cars behind me. It was an old gray Crown Victoria, and I was like, well, that's an undercover cop. And if anything happens, I can, you know, do something and get attention and then go from there. But he rolled the window down, and he said, after he said, damn, what a lick, he said, he pointed a gun at. I said, well, what are you going to do? He said, it's just going to be pop, pop, pull over. And I said, what are you going to do, Shelby? Shoot it twice? He said, no, it's going to be pop, pop. He said, the first one's for the kid. And when he said that, it really, I mean, it hit my head hard. It's like, I mean, I took oaths and stuff before in the past, and I was like, why the kid? He said, that way I don't have a chance to grow up and go to hell. And
all right.
Oaths and stuff.
Yes. When he said, here's you another instance where he looks at the jury for approval. When he says, so the kid wouldn't grow up and go to hell. Watch when he looks at the jury here, right after this. He says what he says, and then watch him look at the jury like, got me? You hear me there, y'all?
Hard. It's like, I mean, I took oaths and stuff before in the past, and I was like, why the kid? He said, that way I don't have a chance to grow up and go to hell.
Look at that. Look where he's looking.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's said for effect. You know, he wants that shock value. That's why he doxes people. That's why he does all the shit he does. It's that shock value. He gets a sense of power from it. So, of course, even here, even now, his narcissistic ass is going to do it.
Yeah.
And he almost got his brother out of a bad situation, or at least halfway out.
Yep. I mean, look at that smug look on his face. I mean, he's looking at the jury saying,
that's what I helped stop. That's the kind of person I help stop.
Yeah. Are you listening to me right now? Look. I'm telling you a story. Pay attention. Snap, snap, snap. Right, Ernie?
Exactly. Beyond stupid. That's exactly it. Women and children. and they use that as an example. But that's what he does.
Yep.
That's why he does what he does now.
Yep.
It's
his
that
go-to.
effect. Yep.
At all costs.
And
So
as
did
he
you
put the
keep driving?
no, yes, I was driving, but it was coming closer, and as he put the weapon down, his funny bone was like right on the end of the thing, and he had the pistol. And the girl, I don't know why she didn't move, but she's like, and she could see it, and I seen him lay the hammer back, and I was watching his hand pull that, and I said, I got to do something. And I stomped the gas. And
I got a question.
I tried to get.
Is he showing that Shelby did that with his right hand?
That's what he's showing.
And Shelby's left-handed.
Shelby's left-handed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Ernie. Sorry, I wanted to make sure that's what I was seeing him do.
Yeah, but his left hand wouldn't work, by him saying his funny bone was right across the thing there. And he didn't say what thing. He didn't say console. He didn't say window. He just said the thing.
Mm-hmm.
T-bone. And as we was going up and everything, he was like, man, what'd you do? And he looked at me and said, thank you, brother. And I said, what's wrong with you fool? And he's like, man, I can't believe that. And I said, what's going on? And he said, I didn't have enough. He said, I want to thank you, man. He says, I didn't have enough ammunition. There's too many witnesses.
Mm-mm.
You see him again? Let me back it up. Right after he says witnesses, watch what he does.
Dude, that would make a great clip video.
Yeah. His body language.
Yes.
What's going on? And he said, I didn't have enough. He said, I want to thank you, man. He says, I didn't have enough ammunition. There's too many witnesses.
Yeah. Oh, there it was. You see the little phone pop up? Yeah, too many witnesses. And then he raises up and faces everybody. Look at me. I'm telling you a story.
So as we was going back up, we got pulled over.
Beyond stupid, he never once looked at his brother. Not one time did he look at Shelby.
No.
Right across from him.
Yeah.
There was a roadblock, and Danny Cottle and I can't remember the other
Who's
officers.
Danny Cottle? Who's Danny Cottle?
Danny Cottle was a state trooper.
State trooper.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a roadblock of state police officers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you approach the roadblock?
Yes, and
were you still driving?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your car?
Yes, sir.
Who was with you?
Shelby.
Okay. And you mentioned Danny Cottle, a state trooper.
Yes, sir.
Why do you mention his name? Was he there?
I've known Danny Cottle for years, and yeah, he was there.
Okay. Did you have an interaction with him?
Yes, sir.
Can you describe that for us?
Well, usually when I approach any kind of roadblock, I had a name for fighting and being a professional boxer. People just wave me through. The police say just like, "Hey, man, we just wave you through because they know." This time he stuck his head through the window. He's out the window. He's actually stuck his head through there. But before he did, my brother, he said, "We're gonna get stopped." He reached back there and got a jacket or something and covered his arms where his tattoos wouldn't be visible. And
why would he do that, Ernie?
Right.
There's so many people completely covered in tattoos these days. Why does that matter, Ernie?
Well, I mean, he's talking like, they're going through a roadblock like it's a big deal because at this time Shelby wasn't wanted.
No, he wasn't wanted at all.
No, he was out on parole, and 3 months after he was released. So if he had violated parole and they knew about it, it was still in the process of getting him in, doing the process of that violation. So that whole thing about him hiding tattoos, so they couldn't identify him, apparently.
I'm not sure he was out on parole. I think he might have been completely out, like served out.
Oh, I thought when you got released from jail, you still had to have so much parole time on paper.
Not if you serve out, you don't.
Oh.
I don't know, but yeah, if you get out on parole, you do. Then you got a parole officer and all that stuff. But I don't know. Maybe something to check on for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're right either way. It doesn't matter. The tattoos wouldn't make a difference.
Right. Them knowing that Shelby's in the car with him being the celebrity, they're waving him through being a professional boxer and all that shit,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, whatever. But yeah, it's a weak story to begin with, but
Very weak.
It's Ernie. That's what he does.
Ernieisms.
As he was.
Oh, by the way, if you can't tell, here's my theory on what he's doing. He's not worried about the jury. He's not worried about the defense or the prosecution. Ernie is working on his slasher film. He's working on his movie right there in front of you.
Storyline all day long.
Absolutely.
Sitting there, he's like, he had the pistol up under his thigh. I think it was sitting on there up under his thigh, and he had his hand like.
Now that's illegal. You know, he did not have. You know, once he's convicted of a felony, he cannot have a firearm. So yeah, that part is true. So now, but you know, I don't know. You know, that still wouldn't have anything to do with any tattoos. It's just.
Now, let me ask you this: when did this roadblock occurrence happen? Did they say?
I think he was talking about on Brothers Night, right? The 24th or 25th, he says.
Okay. I was curious because you remember Ernie knew 2 days before Shelby actually confessed to you, right?
That's what he said.
So he knows his brother's a felon. His brother's got a pistol, all of this shit, and he's not doing his due diligence. Like just him having that gun and him knowing that he's committed a crime, or at least will know. He probably does know by his fucking mouth at this point. You know, it's just a day or two before Shelby got arrested.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean that whole thing, it's ignorant. He's supposed to be this upstanding citizen, but yet he's claiming to roll around with a felon in possession of a firearm.
Yep. Love and Grace. When Shelby is released, is Ernie going to freak out? Oh, yes, he's going to freak out. If Ernie's not in prison himself or not hearing.
That's what I was going to say. If he's in prison, he might be at more ease.
Yeah.
If he gets released. And, you know, I mean, Shelby's done a lot of shit, and apparently he's going to get some more time tacked on with this court case coming up, or at least it would seem. It's possible that Ernie might not get out, and his brother does. That serial killer getting out. But I firmly believe Ernie was involved at least 50% with that Ronnie King thing. I really do. I mean, that's why I was laughing at his wording using the fragments. That motherfucker seen every bit of it even before that shit happened to the rings.
Yep. He says he didn't go back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I guess up under it. And I guess he had his hand up on the handle. But we pulled up, and I was like, oh, my gosh. So when we pulled up, and he stuck his head through, and I seen his Danny. Well, I knew, you know. I was like, okay, cool. You know, he's like, well, hey, man, what are you doing? You been fighting again? What are you doing? You know, he said, then he looked over, and he said, where you guys coming from? I said, well, we just come from the families. We just come visit the family. And I was trying to give him signals, but it was dark, and I couldn't really do nothing about it because, I mean, it was right beside him. He was, you know, him, and I just couldn't do it. And then as he motions it's over, I mean, but this time I'm about to start sweating, and I'm sitting there holding it in, just, you know, just from prior training that I've had, just with interrogations and things. I'm driving up the road, and he looks over and he says, man, he said, you really do know all these police officers. I said, it's just, you know, comes with territory or something like that. And he said, well, you just saved his effing life. And I said, what do you mean by that? He said, I started just to reach down, and he said, I already have a hand down. He said, I started just come up and shoot right across your face. I said, you know what, you probably hit me. And, you know, just trying to get his mind off stuff, just not in particular that. You know, trying to put loved ones in a way of innocent victims. Because, I mean, I was thinking, hey, this man, he may still have a heart somewhere. But then he said, no. He said, it wouldn't hurt you. It might have deepened you a little bit. But he said, I started to blow his motherfucking brain. And that's exactly what he said.
Okay.
And he said, you saved his life.
Now, I may have asked you this before, and if so, I apologize, but I have a terrible memory, okay?
Sure.
So the person that you've been with in this car, you've stated it was Shelby Shell. Is that
Shelby
correct?
Shell.
And the person that you've stated has told you that they killed Ronnie King, the person Shelby Shell. Is that correct? Yeah. Shelby Shell is your brother, is that right? And I'm one last time or the first time. Is that Shelby Shell, the defendant sitting here in this courtroom?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no further questions. Pass the witness.
Cross-examination.
Here it comes. This is
You just asked for water.
Yes.
Well, here we go.
Just
More
a second.
clicking and drinking.
Water. You can go ahead and start. She can bring it up.
Okay.
We watched this the other night. We'll watch a little bit of it.
Just for the record, again, your name's Ernie Shell. Is that Ernest, Earnest? Or
Yes,
without
I
an
spell it different ways, but yes, it's Earnest.
Why do you spell it different ways,
And,
Ernie?
What's your date of birth?
12/31/79.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
Older brother.
Too.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you share the same father?
Yes, ma'am. Did share the same father.
No, you still share the same father, Ernie.
Yep.
And you mentioned a little bit that you make masks. Are those Jason masks?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that I'm going to ask some questions that you may be like, that's kind of dumb, but we're trying to tell everybody.
Yes.
Right?
What kind of mask did you say?
Hockey mask.
What kind of mask?
Hockey.
Jason masks,
Jason
hockey masks. That's related to the Friday the 13th movies.
Yes, ma'am.
And you make those for collectors?
Yes, I make them for collectors and the Friday the 13th Hall of Fame for the new video game release. I made all the masks for the video game they used in the
Perjury. There ain't no Friday the 13th Hall of Fame, dipshit.
Nope.
Show me where you're listed in it. First, show it to me. Then show me where you're listed in it.
I think the mocaps and all the physical actions.
Have you ever used a handle or an online nickname to promote your masks?
Yes, ma'am.
And is the killer inside one of the handles that you use?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you made videos
You
about
smile?
the killer inside?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you involved with a horror convention in Knott County?
Yes, ma'am.
And so horror and Friday the 13th movies, those are the kind of things that some people would call hobbies, but it's more than just a hobby for you.
Yes, to a point. It was. It's not now.
Have you ever written a screenplay,
A screenplay.
like for a movie or a TV show?
No, I've got one coming out.
Okay.
That's a good
what show have
question,
you got
beyond
coming out?
stupid. It's a new slasher film. It's a whole new genre of things.
So a new,
It's nothing to do with Friday the 13th.
okay, but a new slasher horror type movie.
Yeah.
Are you currently employed outside of your Jason mask business?
I was until this.
Okay. And what was your last employment?
Queen City Railroad.
You mentioned in testimony that you've been a bounty hunter.
Been a bounty hunter.
Okay. Were you licensed?
Yes, ma'am.
And what states do you?
State of Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you ever a deputy in Tennessee?
No, ma'am. I was a corrections officer in Tennessee.
Corrections officer.
Chief corrections officer in Sullivan County Community Corrections.
Yep.
Can you state that county again for the record?
Sullivan County Community Corrections, Kingsport.
So you've never claimed to be a Campbell County Sheriff's deputy?
Campbell County, no.
You've never had a Campbell County Sheriff's deputy ID badge, for example?
Campbell County. No.
Okay. And you don't claim to have ever been a sheriff's deputy in Tennessee or Kentucky?
Never
or
been
anywhere?
a sheriff's deputy in nowhere.
He was trying to think about that lie he told while they were
Have you
asking.
ever claimed to work for a fugitive recovery team?
I've owned my own fugitive recovery team.
You have your own fugitive recovery
Pretty much,
team?
yeah. I don't have no more.
Okay. And did your fugitive recovery team work for a law enforcement agency?
No.
That was your own private?
Phil,
Bail bonds.
you're
No, we just set up our
watching.
own team.
I'm live right now.
There's this license. They come together and we team up and we.
What's your license number in Tennessee?
What the hell?
Here we go. I wonder how many fake ones are sitting in that stack of his.
I don't think I have the card, but you look it up online. So there's an online thing for it. Actually, it might be right here. Oh, that's Texas Services. My TAP BA number, let's see, at the time was 115-755-099. It was a license number. But I actually have the NPIR, which is the National Producer Insurance Rate number for bail bondsmen. So I actually have one of those, but it was expired in December, my birthday, December 31st, 2018 was the last.
Do you mind if I approach? I just want to see the card.
I don't, oh, you see the old card, yeah. I've got it.
Exactly.
This is my TAP BA. But you'd have to look my other one online. I don't have yet.
Hey, TN.
The NPR I don't have.
Do you mind if we make a copy of this?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you make a copy of this?
It's outdated, but it's all I have left.
While we're getting that copy, you mentioned boxing. I think I thought that you were into wrestling and MMA, but did you say you were a professional boxer also?
I was a professional boxer in Indiana. Had 4 fights. 4-0.
Nope, not true.
Is there any licensing for boxers in Indiana?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have your license?
There's an online license agency. I've not done it in 16 years. Actually, it's going to start back here in April. They offered me a professional fight in Knoxville under John Faust, and I was going to be reissued a new license.
But you also do participate in MMA and wrestling?
I'm one of the founders in Kentucky of mixed martial arts.
And did Jimbo Collins or James Collins also participate in that with you?
Yes.
In MMA and wrestling, I guess, to put it simply, were you a good guy or a bad guy?
And MMA and wrestling. In MMA, there's no really a good guy or bad guy. I mean, wrestling is the one that portrays. I've worked both sides.
So you promote.
You're right, Ernie. Conor McGregor, he's not a good guy or a bad guy. But honestly, it has morphed into that where these MMA fighters are starting to pick up personas and all that stuff.
And tell stories about the wrestlers and grow your brand. Is that something that you do?
No, I never promoted wrestling.
Okay.
Only MMA. And at the time, it was not called mixed martial arts. It was called NHB, No Holds Barred. Reality Fighting Championship was the name of the company when I first done it in Harlan, Kentucky.
And you've promoted in Bluefield, West Virginia also.
Yes, that was a wrestling thing. That was a co-promotions in Bluefield, West Virginia.
And you hired off-duty police officers to do security for your event, correct?
Yes.
And you failed to pay the wrestlers, correct?
Yes.
And those police.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Venomous, what do you want me to do? Are you want me to call you right now?
If there's an emergency, call 911, Venomous.
I'm in the live stream. I mean, I'm messaging you right now, asking you what's going on. What? Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta get ready for bed anyway. I got some stuff to do in the morning, but we got through that part of the testimony. We'll go over the rest of Ernie's cross-examination tomorrow.
Cool.
And we'll show you. That gets really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Lifeout.com, Gay for Pay.
Laptop hard drive.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff. Yeah, the laptop stuff where he's making fake IDs and shit like that. So lots of stuff. But I guess we'll go ahead and let's see. So smart for women defense to ask Ern questions. They know how he feels about women. Watch how this upper lip snarls when he makes him. Oh yeah, she gets mad, or he gets madder than hell when this lady questions him about anything. He sure does. No
Just like
respect.
anybody else. Yep.
But
I guarantee you he's sitting there thinking she's a pedo.
all right, y'all. We'll get ready and we'll get prepared for tomorrow night. Come back and do it one more time. Maybe a little earlier tomorrow. We'll see if we can.
Yeah, I shouldn't be working tomorrow. They don't allow too much overtime these days, and I'll be on it. So
yeah, just let me know if we need to change anything around, brother. And if not, let me get over here. Until then, tomorrow night, I'm Jimbo.
I'm Kemper.
Coming to you live from the stand.
Cause I ain't no sissy la-la like some of these motherfucking YouTubers. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough.
I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God.
All right, y'all. Sorry I had to end the intro, or outro. I forgot. E squared with 62% of the vote is the War Room winner. And we'll be sending that money out to E Squared's 2 children. I was going to give $100, so
I'm doing 100.
All right, cool. So they'll each get $100 a piece. We appreciate y'all for participating, and we'll play the outro for everybody. If you want to hang out, that's cool. If not, we'll see you tomorrow night.
We love you guys.
Yes, sir. All right.
Cause I ain't no sissy la-la like some of these motherfucking YouTubers. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough.
I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face just to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit and I go crazy when I'm mad. And now you go wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
I'll take smoke, I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes my dynasty.
Women's boobs are their balls. They're just not down there. So yes, gentlemen, we have bigger balls than you do.
What?